Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. I want to give double honors to the elders and apostles at Great Millstone that taught me this truth and rule well. And I want to say Shalom to Akhman Akhwat out there pursuing this truth diligently. Coming at you once again with another lesson. This one's titled, You Ain't Supposed to Be Hanging Around Those Churches. All right. And this is a topic we haven't touched on in some time. So I figured I'd just go ahead and bring it out because there's still a lot of, Jake hanging around those Christian churches. And there's multiple reasons, that you shouldn't even be around those places. All right. Just name some off the top is one. The main one is that they're not teaching you the truth. All right. They're teaching false doctrines. All right. And if we have time, extra time, we might just throw in some scriptures about false prophets. All right. Because that's who your pastor, your reverend or the church prophet, whatever you want to call them. That's what they are. They're false prophets. Okay. On top of that, you're not supposed to be dwelling in those places because, as we're going to read in Acts 7 and 48, the Most High is not within those places. All right. And 3 is that, they're robbing you, man. That's the main thing that they're doing at those churches is robbing you. Okay. Look how you drive to church and then look how the reverend drives to church. All right. Look at the class difference. Okay. Look at the class difference. All right. He's there, making money. Now, if they took his money away, you think he would be teaching? No, he wouldn't be teaching. All right. At all. He'd stop. Or if they took his bag away, all right, he wouldn't have any interest in the church because he doesn't have any interest in this gospel. All right, now that this is the church is this gospel, but I mean anything related to the Bible, as I should say. He has no interest in the Bible at all. He has interest in money. All right, he has interest in fast cars, all right, and big houses, which is all things in lucre. All right, and just money. All right, but he doesn't really care what's being taught. That's why when these 501c3 organizations, all right, and they tell these individuals, hey, you got to teach us. They don't give a shit what they're teaching. All right. If they gave some people, $1 million to teach that, God was blue, there'd be a million different churches. The next, the Church of Blue God. All right. I'm not even kidding. All right. If they gave, all these people incentives of $1 million, their whole new things would come out. It's like they're giving them incentives. They've been given more incentives to put, to allow and push the LGBTQ community within the church. All right, because it's all an incentive, man. I'm sure they get some sort of bonus for that. All right, so you ain't supposed to be hanging around those churches, and there's multiple different reasons. False doctrines, and they're teaching a false name is the big two primary ones. All right, so we're gonna start up by getting Acts 7 and 48 through 50. All right, we already got it up actually. So verse 48 says, Howbeit the Most High dwelleth not in temples made with hands, as saith the prophet. Heaven is my throne, and earth is my footstool. What house will you build me? Saith the Lord. Or what is my place, or what is the place of my rest? Hath not my hand made all these things? Let's read it again. And listen, they don't read you this one in church. Verse 48. Howbeit the Most High dwelleth not in temples made with hands. Okay, so if you go to any of these churches, how are they built? They were built, but generally by brick or wood or some type of way. By who? Men. That's built with hands. Okay. Verse 48, Howbeit the Most High dwelleth not in temples made with hands, as saith the prophet. That right there gives you all you need to know. Verse 49. Heaven is my throne, and earth is my footstool. What house will ye build me, saith the Lord? Or what is my place, or what is the place of my rest? Hath not my hand made all these things? And that's the hubris of men. The hubris of men where you take, all these things that the Lord had made, all right, stone and wood and all these different things, and you say you're going to build a place for the Lord to reside within. How is that going to work? He made all those things. You think you made something? No. All the materials that you even made, all right, or all the materials that you even used, the Lord made. Okay? So the Lord's not, like it says, Howbeit the Most High dwelleth not in temples made with hands, as saith the prophet. But, all these churches say, oh, God is within the church. No, he's not. No, he's not. He's not dealing with these churches. All right, on multiple different levels, he's not dealing with these churches. Okay, he's not dealing with these churches primarily because they're not coming. They're not teaching his name. All right, they're not teaching his name, and also that you're not supposed to have a temple built by hands, like for all these people to go in and have a congregation. That's just not how it works, man. All right, that's just not how it works. So, but it makes people feel good. That's why these other camps, IUIC, and all these other places do it. All right. Now, the people that I follow, GMS, not that I'm a member of GMS, but I follow after them. All right. They don't do nothing like that. All right. They don't have no church service. All right. That's not how it goes. But a lot of these other camps do, and a lot of it's because it feels comfortable to those members that have been part of the church for 30, 40 years. All right, or even sometimes even less, 10, 20 years. All right, it's familiar to them. They can come in, sit down in a pew, and go to sermons, right? That feels familiar to them. But the Most High is not with these places, and especially not with places teaching in the name of God and Jesus Christ, right? Because the Most High's name, the Father's name is Yahweh, all right? In Paleo Hebrew, it's Yahweh. And the Son's name is Yahweh Shai. So you think he's going to be dwelling in a place where they're teaching the name of God and Jesus Christ? Absolutely not. Hell no. Hell no, absolutely not, man. And and that we could even get more on that. We can go and what else we want to get? Go ahead and get this. Hold up my notes. So Jeremiah 25:6 says, do we want to read up? I'll actually read up from 5. It says, they said, turn ye again, now every one from his evil way, and from the evil of your doings, and dwell in the land that the Lord hath given unto you, and to your fathers forever and ever. And go not after other gods to serve them, and to worship them, and provoke me not to anger with the works of your hands, and I will do you no hurt. So when you go, and when here it is, you have the Lord, all right, and his son, Yahweh Bashmi Shai, that are that's their names, Yahweh Bashmi Shai, and now in the church you have, God and Jesus Christ. That's already going off because you're using the wrong names, all right, and on top of that, it's going off because not only are you using different names, you've built up completely different character, all right. The character of Yahweh Bashmi Shai is much different than the character of God and Jesus Christ. All right, there's strict law and rules, all right, with Yahweh Bashmi Shai, but not so much with God and Jesus Christ. Okay, and God and Jesus Christ, and I hate to keep on saying it, but there is a difference here. With Yahweh Bashmi Shai, we're still commanded to be under the law. We're not necessarily under the law because it's not that the law is done away with. It's just that we're under a grace period. All right, but we're still, expected to keep the law. All right, because we're under grace and not under the law. Shall we sin willfully? Yahweh forbid. Roughly paraphrasing, right? So it doesn't mean we should sin. Sin is what? Transgression of the law, and that's the whole law. All right. But with God and Jesus Christ over there, they teach you that we're not under the old covenant anymore. We're under a new covenant. All right, and that we can eat whatever we want and yada 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 yada. It's a bunch of garbage, man. It's a bunch of garbage. And Slocky, if you can hear vacuuming in the back, but it's a bunch of garbage, man. It's a bunch of bullshit garbage. And hey, but these people eat it up. They love it when you tell them. And these, like I mentioned earlier, these are things that they won't tell you in church. If matter of fact, earlier when I was looking for church scriptures, we just read Acts 7:48 through 50. When we go ahead and grab, if you just look up KJV Church, all right, and go and look for the same website, all right, King James Bible Online, and you go and find it, you will not find that anything about the temple in it. Well, actually, I'm curious. It didn't come up in church, but I wonder if it'll come up in temple. It may. It's probably in here eventually. Interesting. It was probably originally, they broke the page recently, but it was probably in here originally. But Acts 3, no, Acts 7. So I'm not seeing it. If it is somewhere within here, they probably 182 incidents. It'll pull them all, but notice how they put it way down somewhere far out of the way, so you wouldn't, you're probably gonna only go to page 3, 4 max, and then you're gonna stop. They probably have it on the last page if the page wasn't broken. So, you're not supposed to be going after these other gods, because, in Jesus Christ and God is a completely different God. All right. They're not the same. All right. They allow homosexuality under their name. They allow, you can eat whatever you want. Okay. So they're completely different beings than Yahweh Bashem Yahushai are. Okay. And we worship Yahweh Bashem Yahushai over here. Okay. Jeremiah 25:6, it says, "And go not after other gods to serve them and to worship them, and provoke me not to anger with the works of your hands, and I will do you no hurt." All right. But how did Jake do? "Yet ye have not hearkened unto me, saith the Lord, that ye might provoke me to anger with the works of your hands to your own hurt." Of course, you didn't listen. You didn't want to do it. Just like Jake, being disobedient little assholes. All right. That's how Jake's always been. They've always acted that way, man. All right. So you're not supposed to be dwelling around those churches. And you see those churches, constantly getting, knocked over in hurricanes and lightning strikes and floods and what's the other one? Tornadoes, Don't you think, if it was the Lord's, that he would just go around it? Apparently not. All right. Apparently not. But I don't know how these Christians explain that to themselves. But if the Lord was really dealing with those places, they would not be destroyed. All right. Matthew 18:20. This is red letter, so it's Yahushai speaking. All right. So if you can't go to church, all right, and hang around these churches, how do you gather? Do you still gather? What do you do? What is church? Is there still church? All right. You can't go around these temples or anything like that. Where's church? Let's get it. Matthew 18:20, it says, "For where 2 or 3 are gathered together in my name, there am I in the midst of them." Yeah, so, we'll get it again. Matthew 18:20, "For where 2 or 3 are gathered together in my name, there am I in the midst of them." Okay, so when you have, brothers on the highways and byways, that's church. When you have brothers doing a sit down, get together, all right, video, like, I'll give you an example, all right, that's church, all right, let's get it, I know where I can get it, I believe this elder, does quite a few of them. I don't know if it's on this page though. It might be on one of his other pages. Let me see. I'll give you an example. Most of you brothers know what I'm talking about, but maybe it's Dallas in class. Maybe that's what it is. Here's one of them. I guess I thought it was this page that had some. I'm probably just not looking at the right place, but there's a lot of, I can tell you one place. Here's a couple other ones. Let me see. Bear with me just a moment. We'll find it. I want to give you an example. I want to give you a visual representation. Sometimes you find them, sometimes you don't. Of course, whenever you need to find an example, you can't find it. That's just the way it goes. But, these brothers do many get-togethers where they sit around on a couch together, all right, and they talk if they're not on the highways and byways. And so that's church as well. Okay, that is church as well. Going back to it, Matthew 18 and 20, for where 2 or 3 are gathered together in my name, there am I in the midst of them. So not dealing with churches and, you got to come in and bring out the till, and every time you go in there, you got to put your money in there. That doesn't make no sense. It's whatever you make. All right. Your paycheck, every time you get paid, you just throw the money in there. All right. 10%. All right. 10%. That's tithes. Okay. We don't go to no church and pay tithes. We pay tithes to, at least I pay tithes. All right. To the elders and apostles of Great Millstone. All right. So specifically the apostles, what do you call it? PayPal. All right. But so I can't speak for all of us as in we, but at least that's what I do. Some of you brothers or sisters might go, somewhere else. Might be an individual camp. All right. Might be one of the elders. All right. So on and so forth. But yeah, man. So we pay tithes. It's just not the way that the Christian church does it. All right. The Christian church is, they're a bunch of robbers. All right. And just a bunch of robbery. Okay. This is, so going back to, here's another one talking about where the temple is. If we can't go to temples, where's the temple? 1 Corinthians 3 and 17 reads, if any man defile the temple of Yahweh, him shall Yahweh destroy, for the temple of Yahweh is holy, which temple ye are. So we in ourselves are the temple. All right. So a lot of the time, when we're doing these lessons, it's the Spirit. It's it's basically we're being used as a vessel to be spoken through. It's not our words. We're the ones speaking them technically, by our vocal cords, but they're not our words. All right, we didn't make them. All right, so it's Yahweh Bashem Yahushai's words. We just happen to be saying them. All right, we didn't come up with any of this. All right, we can't take credit for anything that we do. All right, bear with me while I grab a drink. All right, so going back, where were we? Yeah, so that pretty much, and I'm curious. Let's get this in the Bible Gateway. Like I said, this is probably just a shorter little lesson today. Just something I wanted to touch on. I didn't have, too much to talk about article wise or anything like that. But hey, guys, got to keep on plowing, right? So I felt like this would be a good little lesson to touch on about the churches, because there's certain topics that I don't really get around to all too much, because the Spirit just isn't on me to get them all the time. Like haircuts and beards and stuff is one I should probably touch on again soon, because it's just one of these things that most of us already know. So it's one of those things you kind of don't think about too much. But you got to realize there are still new brothers and sisters that are waking up in this truth. And it's a good refresher as well. So every once in a while you want to do those those basic back to basic milk lessons as well. So this is 1 Corinthians 3 and 17. It reads, if any man defile the temple of Yahweh, him shall Yahweh destroy, for the temple of Yahweh is holy, which temple ye are. You can go and get that in the Good News translation. It says, Yahweh will destroy anyone who destroys Yahweh's temple, for Yahweh's temple is holy, and you yourselves are his temple. All right, you're supposed to be taking care of yourself, but being in this flesh, sometimes we're not so great at it. I know I'm not, and I'm trying to get better on that myself. So let's get the NLV. Let's see what it has to say. It says, if any man destroys the house of Yahweh, Yahweh will destroy him. Yahweh's house is holy. You are the place where he lives. All right, not in no temple made of hands, right? Let's get the New Living Translation. It says, Yahweh will destroy anyone who destroys his temple, for Yahweh's temple is holy, and you are that temple. Pretty similar. Yeah, man. So, hey, you got it. It's pretty straightforward. So, let's move on. Let's go to Matthew 21 and 12 through 13. This happens quite a lot. If it was happening back then, it's happening now, man. It's happening now. So, Matthew 21 and 12 through 13. Verse 12 says, and Yahushua went into the temple of Yahweh and cast out all them that sold and bought in the temple, and overthrew the tables of the money changers. and the seats of them that sold doves. So they had money changers there, and they were selling doves. It says, and said unto them, it is written, my house shall be called the house of prayer. My house shall be called the house of prayer, but ye have made it a den of thieves. All right, you have made it a den of thieves. So what are money changers? What's a money changer? Or read it. Money changer in Tunisia. All right, Tunisia. All right, it says a money changer is a person or organization whose business is the exchange of coins or currency of one country for that of another. The trade was a predecessor of modern banking. It says that, so they were basically, it's basically the predecessor of modern banking. If you look up what a predecessor means, it basically means before. All right, before the modern version, right? Predecessor.
Predecessor.
All right, forerunner, precursor. What's a precursor?
Precursor.
A person or thing that comes before another of the same kind. All right, so before they were called banks. All right, before banks were a thing, you had money changers. All right, so basically what was happening is that, you know, they were setting up banks, all right, inside the temple. All right, you know, depositing, withdrawing money and giving money and taking money, right? And the seats of them that sold doves. So not only were they running a bank out of the church, they were also, you know, selling doves. So let's see, we'll read a little bit of it. It says, the event of paper money in the mid-17th century and the development of modern banking and floating exchange rates in the 20th century allowed a currency exchange market to develop. This provided a way for banks and other specialist financial companies such as the Bureau de Change, sounds French, and other similar financial entities to easily change one's country's money for another with the added confidence of transparency. So it's just, you know, one way to get. So look, you can see a money changer here, money changer in Petro di Miniato, 1412. So you can just imagine that being within a church, you know, up there taking money and exchanging money, you know, and Yahushua was pissed about it. All right, pissed. All right, here's a depiction of the situation, you know, happening with, you know, they got white Jesus here. All right, which he was never he was never the person that did this. This was an event that Yahushua did. All right, not whoever this is. Okay, this guy is not this character is not described within the Bible. Okay, a man with long, flowy brown hair with blue eyes and pale skin as a savior. That's not he's not mentioned anywhere within the Bible. Now, a dark-skinned man, all right, with, you know, woolly hair, is mentioned within the Bible. All right, a father and son. All right, but not whoever this guy is. All right, not whoever he is. So what else do we got? Any other pictures? You know, I find this one to be the best because it's just, you know, you can just imagine that being within the church. You could see it, and it's just like, wow. You know, you go in there and that's what you see. You know, get your money exchange here. Get your money exchange here. You know, says during the Middle Ages in Europe, many cities and towns issued their own coins, often carrying the face of a ruler, such as the regional baron or bishop. When outsiders, especially traveling merchants, visited towns for a market fair, it became necessary to exchange foreign coins to local ones at local money changers. Money changers would access a foreign coin for its type, wear and tear, and validity, then accept it as deposit, recording its value in local currency. The merchant would then withdraw the money in local currency to conduct trade, or more likely keep it deposited. The money changer would act as a clearing facility. Interesting. It's a bank. It's a bank. Essentially a bank. Okay? So let's read it again from the top. Matthew 21 and 12. And Yahushua went into the temple of Yahweh and cast out all them that sold and bought in the temple, and overthrew the tables of the money changers and the seats of them that sold doves, and said unto them, it is written, my house shall be called the house of prayer, but ye have made it a den of thieves. So they were too busy, you know, selling and buying and exchanging coins and all this bullshit. All right. Instead of just, you know, it's supposed to be, you know, like it says, a house of prayer, learning, and they made it money. You know, all about money. So let's get this in the Good News Translation. I'm gonna get a couple of these in the Good News Translation. Gives us some more time. I don't want the lesson to be too short. And you never know. You can find things by doing this. All right, so it says Yahushua throws out the money changers. It says Yahushua went into the temple courtyard and threw out everyone who was buying and selling there. He overturned the money changers' tables and the chairs of those who sold pigeons. Not what I want. No, here it is. Wrong one. Here it is. So in verse 14, it says, blind and lame people, Salakia. No, 13. He told them, Scripture says, my house will be called a house of prayer, but you are turning it into a gathering place for thieves. Exactly. Let's see what else we got. Go to the New Life version, see what it has to say. This one, it's titled, Yahushua stops the buying and selling in the house of Yahweh. Verse 12, it says, then Yahushua went into the house of Yahweh and made all those leave who were buying and selling there. He turned over the tables of the men who changed money. He turned over the seats of those who sold doves. He said to them, it is written, my house is to be called a house of prayer. You have made it a place of robbers. And one place comes to mind, all right, when I think of this, all right, and we've done it before, right on the page, and I'm surprised it's not one of the highlighted things. You go over there, it's gonna be right in big bold, boom, you're gonna find it. All right. What in the world? Their site's all messed up. But, you see it. Is this not merchandise? Is this not merchandise right here? And it's not cheap stuff either, man. $150. 56, 55, 35. You see it. Music, film, box set. And this is out of all this stuff, man, the biggest problem I have is, look, polos, all right, shirts, all right, skincare, all right, cookbooks, plaques, mugs, all right, music, all right, posters, all right, cool. Clearance stuff, cool, that's fine. What I mainly have a problem with, and I have a problem with the whole thing, is this, man. The 12 tribes breakdown. $74.99. I don't care if you have that somewhere available to watch for free. You should not be selling you teaching the truth in any way, shape, or form. Look, Revealing the Seals of Revelation series with bonus DVD, 12 Elders, $100. The Truth Shall Make You Free, Season 1. Season 1, $200. $200. Now, do you think it costs $200 for all these DVDs? No. You know how cheap a DVD is? Very cheap. You think this 4 DVD set is worth $74.99? No. It's robbery. All right. That's a den of thieves, man. That is a den of thieves. But nobody sees it that way. All right. We're the bad guys, right? We're the bad guys for calling it out. Why you keep buying them? You let them do what they do. All right. Go ahead and get robbed over there. All right, by going and spending your money over there. You got to buy the Passover garment, and that's a price. You got to do this, that's a price. Robbery. You guys are weird. All we're saying is that we bring out the scriptures that says you shouldn't be doing it, and you're trying to combat and be combative and say some way you want it to keep going. You shouldn't be, look, this isn't a thing to make money off of. And Nate, all you gotta do, look. Let's see. So this is a if you look up 501c3, huh? It's the same one, right? So that's the one that comes up. Let's see. See if we just type in IUIC. Nothing comes up. It's this is all public available information. All right. So you can find different things. Let's see. Well, this is the one that comes up when you look up Israel United in Christ. All right. It says religion related, spiritual development. It's on the 501c3. They're getting the 501c3 corporation. It's labeled as Islamic. All right, Islamic faith. Isn't that interesting? It said it was revoked. There was an IRS revocation list. It was revoked on 2010, reinstated in 2010, same day. So, income amount, sure. So, that's all you need to know. All you need to know, right? They got the 501c3. What is a 501c3? Let's look it up. What is 501c3? Okay. What says 501c3 organizations are nonprofit groups, sure, with a dedicated mission. Most are familiar with them as churches and charities, but they also include private foundations. They receive favorable tax treatment, such as avoiding federal income and unemployment taxes, as long as they operate to support their mission. There you go. 501c3. Yes, 501c3 organization, as well as other categories of nonprofits, are allowed to make profit as long as it comes from activities related to their stated mission and purpose, as long as they're making money off of the church. They're allowed to make profit as long as they're making money off of the church. Okay? There you go. We don't get that all the time, but just showing you. And it's right there when you look up IUIC. They're a 501c3 organization, so that's money. That's exactly, they're doing the same thing that's happening right here in Matthew 21 and 12. They may not be selling doves, but they're selling soaps, they're selling shirts, they're selling sweaters, they're selling books, they're selling, who knows, man. We're waiting for the Bishop Nathaniel game system. All right? Super IUIC, all right? For it's only a matter of time. He's gonna sell those Soldier game. I remember that fucking thing that Soldier Boy was doing, his Soldier game system. We're gonna have a Bishop Nathaniel system. It's ridiculous, man. I mean, it's lightly joking, but I mean, come on, man. Slakia. I don't even know how this. I don't know how long that did that for, but hey, at least you could. I don't know if you could see it. Let me go and show you what we're doing. I don't remember hitting anything. So that might be Esau messing around. But you see it right here. Israel United in Christ. Right there. Boom. See it on 501c3 lookup right there. All right. IRS registered nonprofit organizations. Where was it? Who was it? What was it? Israel United in Christ. Boom. Right there. Labeled under what? Where was it? Islamic. Interesting, right? So, and then I don't know how long it's been out, but, going back, and their website's all messed up right now. But going in the shop, if you just look, you know, some of the things I was showing was box sets, like these DVD sets, all these different things, man. You think these DVDs cost that much? So, you know, it's lucky for that. I don't know how long that was fucked up like that. Hopefully not too long, but you never know. I don't remember hitting anything that would have caused that. So it's more than likely Esau's a little tampering shit going down. So going back, we got it. All right. So that's the same thing. All right. Essentially what Nate's doing over there is the same thing. Bear with me where I grab a drink. So it's the same thing, man. Instead of selling doves, he's over there selling shirts, all these different things. That's wrong, man. You're not supposed to be doing it. It's not just IOIC. If GOCC or anybody, and GOCC does it. They do it. You know, they're not selling much. I think last time I checked, it was like a sticker. So they got lap blocks bags, cell blocks bags, a computer decal, and a Hebrew calendar. There you go. So, and most of these places do. I don't know if Sakari has a website, but let's see. Nah, they don't have a website. But hey, good for them, man. Good for them. You'd think they would, but maybe they do, and I just don't know what it's called. So look at this. I want to see what that says. That's not the time nor the place. Not the time nor the place. But hey, man. So you saw it, you heard it, you read it, right? You got it. Let's get Isaiah 8 and 20. I'm about to shut this lesson down. Actually, Slakia. We got to get Titus. Almost skip past that. Titus 1 and 10 through 11 says, "For there are many unruly and vain talkers and deceivers, especially they of the circumcision." That means especially, you know, so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, the Israelites. Verse 11, "Whose mouths must be stopped, who subvert whole houses, teaching things which they ought not, for filthy lucre's sake." You know, and that, you know, you got it's not even just people like IUIC within, you know, the Hebrew Israelite community. It's also, you know, you got people like Geno Jennings. All right, Geno Jennings is a Jake. All right, but he's gonna burn in that missile fire, right? Not in hell, but he's gonna burn in that missile fire unless he repents. Which I don't see him doing it. But Geno Jennings is a funny guy. All right, I get a kick out of him, but he's wicked, man. He's wicked. You know. That's just the end of the day, man. You know, he's wicked, and why is he doing it? Well, let's go see. What's his net worth? Geno Jennings' net worth is around $3 million. That's a lot of money. That's a lot of money. All right, $3 million. That's a lot of money. Guys, hey, I mean, he's funny, but hey, man, he's wicked. He's off. He's teaching in false names. All right, what is he doing? He's teaching things which he ought not, for filthy lucre's sake. That's exactly what he's doing. And a lot of these other camps do, and of course these Christians do. But it's even among the Israelites, man, that's happening as well. They're just teaching some shit, and that's what it is, shit, because it's not from the Bible. They're just teaching whatever, and you're gonna go ahead and believe it. This is Isaiah 8 and 20. It reads, "To the law and to the testimony, if they speak not according to this word, it is because there is no light in them." If they're not speaking according to this, what you're seeing on right here, this word, all right, according to Yahweh Shemiao Shai, all right, and not their feelings, or not how they feel, or not this, or not that, or trying to be inclusive, there's no light in them, all right? If they're trying to be inclusive, everything gets thrown out. Because being inclusive, that goes directly against, you know, they're trying to bring worldliness in it, and worldliness is opposed to godliness. They're two completely different things. You can't mix and match. All right, what communion had light with darkness, as the scriptures say, roughly paraphrasing? What are you gonna do? You can't just have, you know, the gospel and then cut things out of it. It's not how it works, man. So these people that are teaching you these things that are not biblical, there's no light in them, man. And finally, we're going to get John 2:16, and then we're going to go ahead and close out. It's a little bit shorter of a lesson, about 5 to 8 minutes shorter, not too bad. But John 2:16 reads, and said, let's see, we're going to go up from, we'll start with 13. It says, and the Jews' Passover was at hand, and Yahushua went up to Jerusalem, and found in the temple those that sold oxen and sheep and doves and the changers of money sitting. And when he had made a scourge of small cords, he drove them all out of the temple, and the sheep and the oxen, and poured out the changers' money, and overthrew the tables. And he said unto them that sold doves, take these things hence, make not my father's house a house of merchandise. And that was a command. Do not make my father's house a house of merchandise, is what he said to them. What he said in quote was, take these things hence, make not my father's house an house of merchandise. Yet this is what, Israel's still doing. Of course, these people in the world are going to do it. They don't have any, shame. All right. So, hey, man, that's just the way it is. You ain't supposed to be hanging around those churches. All right. It's all about money with them. It's all about greed. All right. And look, if you're going to be learning from anybody that has the so-called truth, all right, and I say so-called because they so-called say that they have it. If they're saying they have the truth, go and look on their website. Do they have a website? Are there things you can buy there? Think about it. If there's things you can buy there, maybe redirect yourself somewhere else where they're not selling things, because this gospel comes free. I don't earn anything off these videos. The apostles don't earn anything off these videos. All the brothers and elders and apostles and elders of Great Millstone do not earn money off their videos. All right, and me being a student of theirs. All right, not that I'm in GMS, but being a student following after the same teachings. I don't make money. I work a job for money. Okay, this truth comes free. Okay, it's free. You get it for free. You don't have to pay nothing for it. That's how it should be. Everybody receives it for free. All right. If I want money, I'm gonna work a job. All right, like SpongeBob said, usually I get a job to do it for the job that you do, or whatever, however he said it. But that's how I make my money, is from my job, not from this. This is free for anybody. All right, you can't charge for this truth. All right, that's messed up. That's wicked. You ain't supposed to be hanging around those churches, and you ain't supposed to be charging for this truth, or any making the Father's house a house of merchandise. All right. So with that, we're gonna go ahead and close out. Lord willing, this lesson was edifying. Once again, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. I want to give double honors to the elders, apostles at Great Millstone, time this truth and rule well. Shalom to you brothers and sisters out there. Keep enduring, keep the faith. We're almost out of here. Until next one, Lord willing. Shalom.